In this video, we're going to do a deep dive on RedBubble. I'm going to take a look at some of the most popular t-shirt designs that are selling there on RedBubble, and I'm going to show you and pick out some of the most popular topics and styles on t-shirts on RedBubble. Let's go. Thanks for joining me on this video. My name is Juna with Detour Shirts. I've been designing and selling t-shirts online since 2005, and in this video I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do another deep dive into a print-on-demand shop for t-shirts. I've done this with merch by Amazon and more recently with TeePublic. I'm going to show you on RedBubble now what are some of the most popular t-shirt styles and topics to sell there. Every print-on-demand shop has something different, has a different audience. They sell different things. If you're on a bunch of print-on-demand shops like I'm on 10 different ones, you'll notice that your top seller for each print-on-demand shop will be different each time. So there's a different audience, and I'm going to show you what kinds of things sell well on RedBubble for t-shirts. Now there's a lot of products on RedBubble. It's different for stickers, it's different for posters, and for all the other products. I'm going to focus on t-shirts. I'm going to show you on RedBubble what they say are the best-selling t-shirts on their site, and we're going to look at those, and then I'm going to break it down into topics and styles that you can see that are popular. There's more topics and styles than the ones I'm going to show you, but these are the ones that stood out to me, so I want to share them with you. So let's get into RedBubble and take a look at the best sellers according to RedBubble. So here we are on RedBubble, redbubble.com. I'm on the Explore page right now because I'm signed in, but if you're not signed in, you'll see the RedBubble main homepage. Either way, this is what you want to do to find the best sellers, or at least what they say are the best sellers for t-shirts. You go to clothing and then do t-shirts right here on the bottom, and it's going to open up this page. And you can see they broke it down into different themes, and these are kind of the top themes, some of the topics that I'm going to share with you today. But if you scroll down even more, you can see best selling t-shirts. We're just going to hit see all. And this is right here is where I'm going to take what I'm going to show you. So I'm going to look through all of these, 3 or 4 pages of these. If you scroll down, you can kind of get an idea for what kinds of things sell well, if this is what's selling well on RedBubble. These are saying the best selling. You can see best selling t-shirts. And again, there's some topics up here that you can follow. But you can see it's very different looking from Amazon and from TeePublic. This has its own kind of style, its own audience. You can see they're a lot more detailed, some vintage stuff. There are a few of these text ones, but they're few and far between. They're more intricate, more detailed, more vintage, just better art in my opinion, right? There's a lot of better artists on here. On RedBubble selling their artworks and doing well on t-shirts. It's almost like nice posters or things like that, right? A nice artwork on here. Now again, like I said, there's few and far between where again, this is nice art, but it's not what you might think of like detailed art, like fine artists, but it's still pretty nice, right? So I'm going to scroll through all here, kind of take a look, a snapshot at some of these, and kind of group them in together into different groups, into different group styles and topics. And I'm not just going to use page 1. I'm going to go on to page 2 by clicking next, and I'm going to go on to page 4 as well. But just to show you the different kinds of things that are here, very different again, like I said, from Amazon. Amazon typically has more of this kind of stuff, right? But these kinds of things sell better on RedBubble. At least that's what we're seeing on here, is that they have a lot more detailed stuff. So I'm going to show you what that is. I'm going to break it down like I did the other video, and I'll show you exactly what I found, what I think stood out to me on this RedBubble page. So the first design style that I wanted to share with you is this circle-centered design. You'll notice a lot of these have the shape of a circle right in the middle of the t-shirt, maybe a little higher for the chest, but you can see they're different things, and not all of them are a perfect circle. You can see kind of a drawing of a circle. This is a nice circle. This one has a circle. They're all kind of circle shapes. Sometimes the circle is not even there, but it's in a circle shape, right? Or right here in a circle shape. Used a lot. This is a really cool thing if you want to design in a circle. And you notice a lot of these don't have text. They're just either circle things. So this is a record. This is also a record, you know, outdoors with the moon and the sun. This one has a design in a circle. So use your imagination and think of different things that can be in a circle or are circle shaped, and you can do really well here, and use some of the topics that I'm going to share with you later and maybe try and put those things in a circle. So style number 1 for RedBubble that I noticed is circle center. Style number 2 that I noticed a lot on RedBubble is black and white art. So art is a huge thing on RedBubble, and you'll notice some of these are more detailed than others, but everyone has a different style. Every artist has a different style, and that's okay. You can see more detailed or less detailed, thick and thin lines. You can see this one kind of looks like a splash painting and so on. So black and white still does well on RedBubble as long as you do it as a nice art style, right? So you can see none of these have words on them. They're just art pieces. So black and white art pieces do well on RedBubble. The third style I want to share with you that I noticed on RedBubble is big art pieces. So some of the art pieces that you saw before were in a circle or maybe a little smaller, but these take up the whole shirt. That tall rectangle shape doesn't have to be a rectangle, but you can see a lot of these, and these aren't the only ones. These are just some examples, but these are big art pieces. Think posters when you're doing these. These can be on a poster and would do well on a poster, but they're just art pieces, right, in their own style. You can see all of these have different styles. They're different things, but they're big pieces. They're one big piece in here. Not a lot of detail on these. Maybe this one has some detail, but just big poster kind of type designs, big art pieces on a t-shirt. So style number 4, taking this just a little bit deeper, is the super detailed big art pieces. So you can see these are also big art pieces, but they have a lot more detail than the other ones had. Like really intricate hair or tattoos or lots of different creatures or flowers. You can see even this in a pattern has a lot more detail. It's not just one thing, it's lots of little things, and that's what makes it stand out, and that's what makes people want to buy that, I think, is because these kinds of things are so nice. They're its own artwork and they stand out, and so people gravitate towards these, and you're kind of like buying artwork at this point on a t-shirt, right? So this is something very unique because of the color, because of the detail and different things. So if you can do this and you're an artist, I would say do a little bit more detail. Think about the little details on here, add big and small and contrast, and use all those different art things that you learned how to do, and just make a nice piece of artwork on a t-shirt. Speaking of detail, this is one step more, and that is the vintage poster style. You can see these people took their detail just a little bit more, usually with some text on the top, kind of like a comic book cover or a poster cover. I'm calling it vintage poster, but you can see a lot more detail, but also with words, right, for a poster. It can be Japanese, it can be English, but you're making kind of like a poster or a book cover or a comic book cover, those kinds of things. I'm calling it vintage poster, but again, more detailed, very nice artwork for RedBubble. So first topic that I saw were animal mashups. Animals were big, especially cats. If you can do something with cats, I think it will do really well on RedBubble. But here's a cat being a DJ. Here's a fox being an astronaut. Here's a dinosaur trying to jump rope. Here's a tiger in the pool, and you get so on and so on. Animals doing things, mashing up with different things, either books or space or bikes, or usually doing something not just by themselves. So have fun with this one. This is a great topic. Again, you can see a lot of these don't have a lot of words. They're art pieces, right? So that's the big theme for RedBubble. Design like an artist. All of these look like different styles, and they were designed by really good artists. So number 7 is this. This is music. So music is huge. This is one of the big ones that RedBubble says that is big on RedBubble as well. And you can see these were pulled from the top 3 pages, and either record players, tapes, animals playing music, animals listening to music, guitar. So a lot of these are vintage as well. So you think of, record players, records, tape decks, things that were a while ago in the 70s and 80s, right? So think about those kinds of things as well when you're thinking about music. Now stay away from musical artists, just like every place else. You don't want to do musical artists or music songs or lyrics or things like that. But these kind of things are more generic and more fun, so you can do music like this on RedBubble. Number 8 is space. I notice a lot of space designs on RedBubble, and here are some examples. You got an astronaut, you got the moon, you have animals as astronauts, you know, and so on, rocket ships and things like that. Astronauts are huge on RedBubble, as well as planets and space and rockets and things like that. So think of different things that you can do with space, kind of mash things up again. So you can see this is a mashup, this is a mashup, this is a mashup. So the mashup thing still works with space as well. So think of different things that you can do with space, draw it in your own style, and again, not a lot of words on these, right? So good artwork sells on RedBubble, and in this case, good artwork about space does well on RedBubble. So for number 9, I'm going to share this outdoor and nature theme things. You can see the outdoors with trees. You can see this is more stylistic about outdoors and mountains and the sun. Again, trees, the mountains, mountains again, trees and mountains. So trees, mountains, outdoors stuff, sun, moon, stars, all those kinds of things, camping, hiking, all those kinds of outdoor nature stuff does really well. And if you can do an artwork in a nice way for these things, you can see all of these are different styles, and try to create this in your own style and fill up that space with the outdoor nature theme. Number 10 is Japanese. I notice a lot of Japanese anime kinds of things on RedBubble, and this is a huge one. So if you know how to do this kind of artwork, use some Japanese text, and you can see all of these I think have some Japanese text in there. Yeah, so it can either be with the waves, it can be dragons, it can be flowers, it can be the city in Japan. Just Japanese themed things do really well on RedBubble, and it's because people are looking for artwork, anime artwork as well on here. I didn't put any of that, but you can see, stay away from actual anime. I think some of these maybe, I'm not really into anime, so I don't know if these are actually from an anime, but I would stay away from any of those that are not in the fan art categories for RedBubble. You don't want to get in trouble and take your stuff down. So of course, no Naruto, no One Piece, none of those kinds of things. And I don't know if these are I don't know all of the anime stuff, but if they are, just stay away from that. But you can do, you know, generic Japanese stuff like dragons and cities and mountains and waves and things like that. So have fun with this topic. This is the last one, and that is Japanese. So here are all my suggestions for RedBubble popular styles and topics. The design styles are here. The topics are here. You can take a snapshot for this when you want to design for RedBubble. Now, of course, you can go on RedBubble yourself and do this research. These are not, this is not an exhaustive list. These are the ones that stood out to me. But if you want to go and do the same thing like I did in the beginning, go to bestsellers and kind of scroll through and kind of get ideas and brainstorm what styles and topics you think are popular and that you can do, and try those out on RedBubble. So that is it for this video. Hopefully this video is really helpful for you so that you know what kinds of things do well on RedBubble. If this was helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed to this channel already, make sure to hit that subscribe button right there. The question of the day for this video is, do you have a shop on RedBubble? Let me know that in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think of RedBubble if you do, and if you don't, let me know that too. Thanks again for watching, and if you want to see more of these videos where I tell you the topics and styles of each print-on-demand shop, click on these right here. And as always, guys, keep creating and keep learning. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.